All right, so let's talk about Johari's window. So, Johari's window composes of four distinct parts, and each of these parts has a certain amount of what is known to others and what is known to yourself. And so there is the open self, and this is things that are on that superficial level, on that onion kind of social penetration theory model. These are things that are readily apparent, but they are also things that you disclose pretty readily. So this can be things that you don't find are really that personal to disclose. So it can be how you dress, what interests you on a very basic level, movies, TV shows, that kind of thing. There is the blind self, and this is things that aren't as readily apparent to you, but are very readily apparent to other people. And this can be kind of confusing because you're like, how can other people know me more than I know me? Well, we have a lot of those nonverbal mannerisms, a lot of our subconscious things that we do, our way of talking may not be as readily apparent to us because we're so used to it. We live with ourselves every day, and so we're not fully aware that we're even doing these mannerisms or that we act, look, do things in a certain way. And so those may be the things that other people know about you that you may not be as reflective about. There's also things that are the hidden self. So these are things that aren't known to others, but you know about yourself. So there's reasons that we hide things. It's not always being sneaky. It can be that, you know, it's nobody's business, or it could be that we don't readily disclose these to some people. So it could be hidden to most of the population and something that we disclose pretty easily to maybe our romantic partners or to our family members. So there's people that you can have a hidden self from and people that you can have an open self to. And so just think about those kind of components. The hidden self might also be things that you don't disclose to anybody. These can be maybe those bad thoughts that we all have that occasionally cross our mind. So these can be things that you wouldn't disclose because, again, they might be just passing thoughts that you don't necessarily need to share with everybody. These can be some things for you to think about, though, of what things do you consider hidden and what things are you more open about, and who are you more open to, and who do you hide more from. And then there's an unknown self. As much as we think that we know ourselves very well, people are dynamic, so they change over time. So we don't know how we're going to act in the future necessarily. So you can say, oh, this is what type of parent I would be. And every parent out there is probably laughing at you and going, you don't really know until you become a parent, right? Or, hey, this is how I'm going to be in a marriage. Now, you can have this ideal self and you can shoot for that, but you may not actually know until you're actually in that situation. And then early on in a marriage, you might be one way, and then years down the road, you might have to re examine what it means to be in your marriage. And so you might change. And that stuff was not known to you at this current moment. And so these are all things that you want to think of for windows into yourself. So the open self, the blind self, the hidden self, and the unknown self.